One of the questions that we got a couple of versions of is how do you, let's see who, I think Al asked, if are you able to maintain relationships outside of music? I mean, given that you're there all the time, you're working like crazy. You said you've been able to spend time with your girl. I'm curious for your perspective on that, since I know that those of us that do this, it's a pretty intense commitment. Yeah. How do you think about that stuff, and how do you balance, if there's balance?
So I think this past year, for most people, you can get away with like not, I haven't really met people, but also no one's met anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, and it was crazy because your last chat with John, I like watched the whole thing and I was like, yo, this is crazy. There's so many. It made me think about all the relationships I have, and like Tizio is one of them. My closest friends. We talk to each other every day, every single day. Probably before noon or 1 p.m. we've spoken to each other. But we started because we were music acquaintances, but we have so much more in common now, and we check in on other stuff too. So like I think it's really important. I like social media does help. I'm not the greatest at it, but my friends kind of do know that, like, most of my friends I interact with every day over here and stuff as well. But the people that they just kind of know what it's like, and they've like accepted it. The most important person, I think, the only person that really matters for me is my girlfriend, like what she thinks and how she is, and she's been super supportive. And I don't really think I would have been able to pull so much off if I didn't have her support.
It does seem like, like you said, John and I talked basically for almost the whole hour last week. We didn't get to any technical questions. We just talked about friendship and
which was music. Awesome. Like, it really got me thinking about stuff like that too.
It's interesting. I think, and the various, I feel like for people in our industry, it's
water.
It takes there's a lot of different arcs to it. And there are times when it's just like, if we choose this life, you're just in it all the time. And it's like, for you, if it's Thug and Gunna and the whole family and everybody's just working, it's like, I'm just there working. You said in the first one, like, you just don't take days off if they're working.
Hell yeah.
That's what it is. And so it's like, you have to, it's a challenge. I mean, there's no right answer to it either. I think if you have your girl or your guy or your one or two people that really understand, and they can be kind of your antidote to it, I feel like that's a really healthy thing, but it is hard.
That is really important. Having that small outlet, like every day, every morning, like when I'm at home, Mike, who owns the studio, he'll pull up at my house on the way to, like, I'm still asleep, and he like comes in through the house, through the garage. He knows how to get in and stuff. And that's like the first thing I see. So, and like, we've known each other for now. We met in 2009 when we started the studios together, and whatever, so from New York. But every day we work together, but we still have that level of friendship where it is work, but you still can communicate about anything else, like other shit as well. I'm usually the guy that normally tries to bring it back to work. Like, we went to dinner the other day, and I started asking Geoff, I was like, so what's next? And he looked at me and he was like, yo, we're not talking about work tonight.
Oh, you're that guy. We're not talking about work tonight.
Yeah, which is weird, like, because I'm around it all the time, so I've become like that. But like, once in a while, it was like, and it was great. We just didn't talk about work, had an awesome dinner. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm sorry, I think I don't even know if I answered the question or not, but like, I talk to my family I check into my family as much as I can, even if it's a text here and there, but even they know, like, I'm not, like, I can't get on long phone conversations every day. Just because even when I have time off, like the little bit of time off, I try to like gather my thoughts and just not like, because if I talk to someone else, it'll be about something else hectic that needs to be done. And my mom will tell me, you need to do this, or something stupid. That'll just change my energy and get me like annoyed and stuff. So
yeah, it's interesting, man. I think it's a challenge for a lot of people. And it's why, as we've talked about before, like, I don't recommend this life for everybody. I don't, there's a lot of sacrifice you make, and you really got to love the insane hours and the insane process. And you got to be able to have tough conversations with loved ones. And somebody said in the chat there, shout out to non-toxic relationships. Like, you really need to be good about having, because the limited amount of time you have for other relationships, that you got to make sure that shit is good. Otherwise, it's going to drive you crazy. It's going to affect your work too. Like, if you don't have good relationships, your work is going to suffer for sure.
Hell yeah. And that's like, that was one of the biggest things with me too. Like, when I met Lurk, it was, I wasn't as busy, but like it was like there's always that you need someone in a, like if you're in a relationship, someone that supports you. Otherwise, I've been through many years of misery because I've always done the same shit. You know, what I'm doing is not going to change. You either have someone who puts up with it or doesn't. Like, but it's always been crazy hours. It's always like from back in New York. It was like this. You know, it's more intense now, but it's also it's still always just the way you know.
Yeah, and you get adjusted to it, and the people in your life, you definitely. The sort of sad reality is you do lose friends over the course of it because people don't all people don't understand the level of commitment and the level of focus it takes. And I think my best friends are all people that I may not talk to. It's been great being here in New York and seeing people I haven't seen in 2 years, and we just pick right back up because those are the only kind of, you can't have friends that expect you to be texting and sending memes to the group text on some like, I got regular jobs and shit. Even though that's fun, I participate a little bit, but they sort of understand that I'm not gonna be a part of that in the same way.
Yeah,
this is what it is, I suppose.